Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this can be a review for the pilot of Chasing Life. Now, I didn't really know what to think about this show, because ABC Family, NBC, why am I saying NBC? ABC Family, they haven't been too successful with their shows at 9 o'clock on Tuesdays lately, They had The Lion Game, which was a very successful show for 2 seasons, then it got canceled. I personally love that show. I thought it was definitely one of ABC Family's best shows. Then they had, before that, they even had The 9 Lives of Chloe King, before that, which was pretty good as well, but then they had The Lion Game. Then after that, they had Twisted, which was awful, in my opinion. I thought Twisted got really bad after that one twist happened, after that one twist where they closed the whole show, it really got bad. And then Ravenswood, which I also really like. So they really have not been doing well, because all 3 of those shows are now canceled. So now they have Chasing Life. And, I was really looking forward to this show because I heard about the plot. I thought, that's a little bit different for ABC Family, a little bit darker, a little bit more adult. I was looking forward to it. And overall, what did I think of Chasing Life? I think this show is very good. There are some problems I had with it, but it does have a lot of potential, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode because I'm definitely going to continue to watch it, and I think the show has a lot of potential, and it's going to be really good. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this show. So basically, this show is about this girl, April. She has just started her job. She's very beautiful, and she's running to get into a very long line, a fictional Boston hospital. Yes, the show does take place in Boston. And it's time, she's there for a blood drive for charity. Because the line consists of members for the press trying to score an interview with a baseball player who is probably like completely high. And of course, she isn't particularly heroic by sneaking in. She can get into this thing because she wants the story for her newspaper job at her job, which is Boston Post, which is the newspaper that she's running for, which is interesting. So she does end up donating blood, and she tries to charm the baseball player Richie Miranda, however, into giving up the goods, hilariously when she asks if he's a reporter, but then she freezes. Because she then passes out, but it's not because she was clever enough to do so. She doesn't know why she passed out. So, the big thing is, why did she pass out? We really don't know why. Because and that's really interesting, because then we see a meeting at the Boston Post introduces us to, we get introduced to April's job. Which is probably the thing she cares about most, because, she cares so much about her job. You can clearly see that. You can see that she's her job is very important to her, so she cares very much about her job. There, you see her boss, who is very, slick, pretty much. He's very slick. He's very, tough and everything. He's a hard guy to deal with. But he's flexible if you have a story, and April may have scored the interview, but, Serenity gets to write the article. Then we meet, her snobby and snarky coworker, Danny. And then we meet Danny, who, he's this guy who is her friend and everything. And we also meet, the guy that she likes. Here's where we get introduced to Dominic, who is her crush on the show. She really likes him. And, of course, she really does like him. So that's really interesting. So she then walks behind the counter of a coffee shop where she meets her friend Beth. And Beth is her best friend, and she's also Australian, and she runs the shop, and they're kind of talking about, what she would say to this guy and everything. She's talking about the guy she met, and they keep foreshadowing, diseases. I don't know why they did that, but they kept foreshadowing it on the show. I'm just like, stop the foreshadowing, honestly. So then we get a call from Uncle George, of course, who is her uncle. It's pretty big because we can see that she does not like her uncle because there's a lot of stuff he's done to her, which I will get to. But then after a long day of working and talking about her love life, April returns to her home where we meet her grandmother, her widowed mother, Sarah, and rebellious sister, Brenna. And everyone is on either an iPad, an iPhone, computer. That's very realistic because that's how it is nowadays. So they're not really talking or anything. And, but we find out that her mother, Sarah, is joining an online dating community, and her daughters fight over who will take the profile picture, and it's a cute scene overall. I like seeing that scene. I thought it was cute overall. Then we see her date with Dominic, and we see a date with Dominic. We can see that they're getting very close and everything. I do like their relationship. I hope they work well together, and overall, I liked it. And everything seems to be going well for her, everything's going pretty well. I mean, she's enjoying her life, she's having a good life and everything. But just as she's about to turn in, then her Uncle George shows up, and after fighting him, she doesn't really want to talk to him, because of course she's upset with her Uncle George, which I'll get to. But he then tells her that she has cancer, which is basically the main plot for the show. Now, I will say the first few minutes of the show I particularly do not like. After she had cancer, though, the show did get pretty interesting. Now, she hasn't really exactly processed this, say the least. She's a little in shock, but she's really more annoyed that her estranged uncle, who is basically implied to be responsible for her father's death in a car accident, is giving her the news. That's what she's more upset about. So he sneaks into her work to tell her exactly. She decides to basically try to hide it from everyone. She doesn't tell anyone about this, not even her friend. She doesn't tell her mother, her coworkers, the guy she likes, nobody, because she doesn't want anyone to know. She doesn't want this to define her life, which I like about the show. I like that April doesn't want this to define her life. I really do enjoy that about the show, because if she did, the show would be very sad and everything, and I don't really want to watch a sad show, and the show's really not that sad if you do that, which I like. So basically, she sneaks into her work. The Uncle George sneaks into her work to tell her exactly how much of a pickle April's in. Without the proper test, they can't diagnose what type of leukemia it is. And this conversation unfortunately occurs in the staircase at her work, and then Dominic eavesdrops. Now, it sounds like the two of them are having an affair. Honestly, I thought that was really stupid, personally. He thinks that her Uncle George is like an ex-boyfriend. That was really stupid. That was the one thing in the episode that was just like, this is so stupid. Like, seriously, that was really dumb what they did there. I understand why they did that, but it was still really dumb. I thought it was stupid, personally. So at work, we see April. She's getting recognition for her initiative in the interview and is assigned an important real estate case. So professionally, all of that running around the hospital paid off. So, then we see the rest of the pilot is basically April just trying to tell someone she has cancer. Of course, this isn't gonna happen because she hasn't even accepted herself. She tries to tell her mother, but her mother's too into the online dating and everything, to see that April is a little blue about this, and, she's just really into it and everything. I like seeing that her and her mother have a good bond, but she doesn't tell her mother. She then tries to tell her best friend, Beth, but Beth wants to go out and party and be a 20-something, so at the bar, they run to Dominic, who, is kind of hurt, even though they went on one date. He comes clean to April that he overheard her with her uncle, but she insists it's a misunderstanding, and the fact that Dominic believes her it's weird. That would not happen in real life. And then also we get to see, her sister Brenna. Her sister Brenna is very rebellious. She is with this guy who really is not, she's with her old ex-boyfriend. She's now back together with her boyfriend. It's not good for her overall, with her sister Brenna. She picks Brenna up because she's in this very shady part of Boston. There's like this shady party going on that she doesn't like, obviously. She picks Brenna up, and I thought this was kind of interesting that we got to see more of her sister's storyline. I definitely thought that was interesting. And that was definitely pretty interesting the way they did that. And unfortunately, luckily she doesn't get caught or anything, so they're off the hook with that, and they're fine. So then we get to the really interesting part of this episode, because it all seems to sink in for April, and she cries, and she even visits her father at the cemetery. And this is where the episode gets kind of sad, because she visits her father at the cemetery, admitting, that she has cancer, of course, to him. And it does seem like it's going to be the end to the pilot. However, it's not, because what ends up happening is that the episode ends with April leaving the cemetery. We see this girl dropping off flowers for April's father. So yes, April has a long-lost sister that she does not know about, which is honestly really, really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to see where the show goes from there. I do like that twist. However, was this pilot perfect? No. Not at all. Not at all. This pilot has a lot of problems, and there's still a lot of things that we do have to talk about. First of all, there are too many characters on this show. Way too many characters, some of which, there's some stuff going on in the show that I did not care about. I did not care about the online dating thing. I thought that it was honestly really stupid. I didn't care about the whole Dominic thinking that she, was cheating on him sort of thing. I thought that was really stupid because they went on one date and he was so upset about it. I thought that was really dumb. Let's get to the acting. The acting in the show is probably the strongest part of the show. I think the acting's really good in this show, and I think they definitely do a really good job. The main lead is Atalia Ritchie. She's very good as April. What I like about her character is that she's very spunky. She doesn't let something like cancer define her. She doesn't really let that happen, and I really like her character overall, and I'm looking forward to seeing where her character goes from here. So I overall really enjoyed her character. Then you have Mary Page Keller as her mother, Sarah, who overall, I like the bond that they had. I thought that her character was good, but her character really annoyed me in the episode. I don't know why. She just kind of annoyed me. Who I do want to talk about, of course, is Haley Rom as Brenna. Very, very good acting from her. I really liked her acting. First of all, she's hot, so that works. That's good. 2, I liked her plot. I liked the whole rebellious sister thing. I thought that was interesting that they got into her life with her sister. It's going to be interesting to see what other choices she makes. Aisha Diaz Beth, I thought she was okay. I liked her friend. I thought she was a good character overall. She seems like a nice friend. Who I don't really like, though, is Richard Brand Castanillo as Dominic. I don't know. I think he's probably the weakest actor on the show. I didn't really feel too much from him. I didn't really care about his character that much. But overall, I did enjoy this show. I did think it was a good show, but here's the thing that the show is doing wrong. Yes, I understand. They have the comedy on the show. I like that they have comedy on the show. The show could be very, very tragic, and you could feel bad for her, but honestly, she doesn't let something like cancer define her, which I like. The problem with this show is the stuff that I don't really care about, like the online dating thing. I thought that was stupid. Personally, I am going to continue the show, because I think it's probably going to be a big hit for ABC Family. However, this was not one of ABC Family's strongest pilots. This was not like The Fosters. This was not like The Fosters, which had probably one of the best pilots I've ever seen. You know, that right away, I love the show. I don't love this show yet. I really don't. I like the show. I'm going to continue to watch it, but I don't know, how the show is going to go overall. I'm really looking forward to seeing if she will. I am looking forward to seeing if she's going to tell people that she eventually does have. Eventually, they're going to find out that she has cancer. That's going to work. Her symptoms are going to worsen. Obviously, they're going to find out she has cancer. It's really big, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. The promo, I'm really into. I really like the promo for this show. It looks like the show is going to get a lot stronger after the first episode. I feel like the second episode is going to be a lot better. But there are some things I want to know. Do you guys like the whole long-lost sister thing? I think that's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens there. I do like that she's kind of mad at her uncle, and that her uncle, is giving her the news is what she's more upset about. I do like that overall. Overall, I do enjoy this show. I think this show is quite strong. Let me know what you guys saw of this show. What's going to happen with her long-lost sister? What's going to happen there? Is someone going to find out that she has cancer? Do you like this show overall? Again, it's not my favorite pilot of the year or anything. I do enjoy it, but it does have some problems, definitely. The show does have quite a few problems. It's not a perfect show. But overall, I thought this pilot was pretty good. I really did enjoy it, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for Awkward. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.